Gun ownership control measures justification. Introduction. The topic of gun control has been ingrained in American society and its political debates. In the recent years following the new administration of President Joe Biden, the arguments over gun control have waxed and waned. In the United States of America, gun ownership is controlled by a number of state federal statutes. The Second Amendment of the Constitution of the United States provided citizens with the right to own firearms. It is approximated that approximately 2/3 of the total adult population of Americans have personal guns. The laws made for gun ownership only regulate the manufacture, possession, trade, transportation, and destruction of firearms accessories, and ammunition. These regulations, however, have minimal control over the use of these guns. President Biden seeks to introduce new restrictions on the access and use of guns in the USA. However, these new policies may lead to a dispute between the government and the citizens who believe that they have a right to own a gun. Despite the rise of crimes and violence, it is not a good idea to address the issue with gun control measures. Gun ownership rights and control. The primary reason why guns should not be controlled is that they are used for self and state defense. The core reason for the introduction of gun ownership rights was to enhance the safety of American citizens. The Second Amendment of the Constitution of the United States of America made gun ownership a fundamental right. This is because it promotes and ensures that individuals have the power to protect themselves. Gun ownership is considered an attribute that supports the fundamental right to life. Tabling a debate to abolish these laws will be termed a violation of human rights. Though the government deploys police officers to ensure law and order, the American population is vast, and the number of police personnel cannot meet the demands of the entire nation. Amid a violent crisis, innocent civilians are at a higher risk of being targeted and killed. Allowing them to own guns will allow them to defend themselves against such attacks. This, therefore, will lessen the burden of law enforcement officers trying to ensure every citizen is safe in every region. Secondly, gun ownership rights provide for the protection of marginalized people. In the United States of America, cases of discrimination are rampant. The main groups are the Black Americans, the Arabic population, and the women, although in fewer incidents. Despite having laws that fight discrimination and strive to attain equity, it is evident that some of the population, based on their racial backgrounds, are not treated equally. In some incidents, law enforcement officers, such as police personnel, have been accused of unfairly treating people of color. This proves that marginalized groups are less protected by the government. Gun ownership has allowed them to protect themselves from victimization by increased violence. Therefore, the right to own firearms should not be violated as it serves a core role in protecting these marginalized communities. It is argued that the introduction of gun control laws will only serve the American elites, the working class, and the general population of white people. On the contrary, these restrictions will serve to harm people of color. The third reason why gun control should not be implemented is that it will increase the chances of government tyranny. A higher population of gun owners and citizens believe that guns have enhanced protection. Studies have indicated that about 65% interpret the Second Amendment of the Constitution as a form of protection against government tyranny. The anti-tyranny debate dates back to the times of the colonial period when the government was controlled by Great Britain. Uplifting the gun ownership right will, therefore, result in an adverse response by the people, and this will lead to countrywide chaos. The Declaration of Independence states, "It is the right of the people to alter or change." This means that only the citizens have the power to amend and change any feature of the Constitution. The right to gun ownership is clearly stipulated in the Constitution of the United States. Therefore, this means for it to be changed, it will require the people's decision. It will be illegal to change the Constitution and re-amend the section with the people's will. The Second Amendment of the Constitution that introduced gun ownership right in the USA did not limit the use of guns either. Though the law was introduced to safeguard innocent citizens, it is evident that this amendment violated the fundamental right to life. In America, it is approximated that a total of 19,384 gun-related homicides are recorded yearly. Killings involving gun use account for about 79% of the total murders. Therefore, the state is obliged to prioritize the safety of civilians and introduce gun control. These regulations can include strict adherence to the age limit. Only registered citizens aged 21 years and above should be licensed to have guns. Before anyone is allowed to own a gun, they should be scrutinized to understand their background. People with questionable histories should be barred from owning guns. The government agencies responsible for the manufacture of guns should be accredited to be allowed to conduct their operation. The production and sale of illegal guns should be considered a capital crime, and brokers trading them should be prosecuted. Conclusion. In conclusion, gun ownership rights were introduced through the Constitution's Second Amendment to facilitate self-protection. This law, however, did not provide any regulation on the use of guns. Gun ownership in the United States of America has had positive and negative results. America has experienced a rise in the number of gun-related crimes and violent incidents. The increased murders and insecurity cases in America are associated with the illegal ownership of guns. Criminal gangs with access to unregistered guns attack and kill innocent citizens. It is evident that guns are the leading cause of homicides. This has raised concerns among leaders who are considering the introduction of gun control policies. This, however, could not be right because the safety of people would be compromised. The control may also lead to a chaotic environment as most citizens will oppose the move. However, there is an urgent need to address the issue to combat the crime rate. The government should take measures such as regulating the manufacture and sale of guns in America. All illegal gun brokers should be arrested and prosecuted.